Hi, and welcome back to the Average Whiskey Drinker channel. I'm your host, Brian. And today we're going to be doing a head-to-head. Elijah Craig, 18-year-old versus Knob Creek, 18-year-old. Which one will I like best? Stay tuned. Welcome back and thanks for watching. Today we're going to be doing a head-to-head. Elijah Craig, 18-year-old. I think this is 90 proof versus the Knob Creek 18-year-old 100 proof. Elijah Craig here is a mash bill of 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. Of course, it's one of the first that I've seen 18-year-old whiskeys. The next came out this year was the Knob Creek 18-year-old. That mash bill is 77 corn, 13 rye, and 10% malted barley. Both of these were really hard to find. This one here, I've seen it as high as $250, $350, and ridiculously $400. No offense, it's not worth $400. Hell, at $200, it's kind of pushing it. The Knob Creek here was also, I think, $180. I got them both for MSRP, so we're gonna find out which one is the better 18-year-old. So we're gonna go for the Elijah Craig first. I got that in glass one number 1. Go on the nose. So you get almost like an orange chocolate note. I like the kind of orange, I don't know if you had them, where you would freeze them at Christmas time and you crack them on the table and it was a chocolate mixed with like an orange flavor. That's what this nose reminds me of. It almost has like a toasted, of course, like a toasted note, but it's very faint. You get some honey, some vanilla. And if you've ever had fresh custard, like actual, like the custard, not like a ice cream custard, that note. It's actually, for 18 years old, I was expecting more of a very oaky presence, a very heavy presence. I opened these up a couple weeks ago, had a couple sips out of each of them, just to let them kind of air out. That way I wasn't getting punched with all the notes right up front from the neck pores. That's why I let them kind of get near the shoulder. So we've done Elijah Craig. Now let's go for Knob Creek. See, this one has, yeah, it definitely has the Jim Beam nuttiness. But it also has like a leather and an aged oak. Like an older tree. Like if you've ever been in a lumberyard when they cut down like one of those really big monster oaks. Or if you've ever been in a leather shop and you open the door and all that pungent leather smell. That's what I'm getting on this. You get a little bit of the oakiness, but it's very subtle. You get a lot of that Jim Beam, that note. It's definitely more nostril opening than the Elijah Craig. There's definitely a difference. Now I know there's reading some of my notes, the tobacco note. It's hard for me to find it because I've never been in a warehouse that has like fresh tobacco. But I definitely get like a dark fruit, almost like a dark raspberry, like a that you when you go in the refrigerator and you open up and the raspberries come out. So now let's get into the tastings. Okay, we've gotten past the nosing. Now we'll get into the taste. We'll go taste with Elijah Craig first. Right off the get-go, you get that vanilla and oak and a spice, almost like a brown sugar and caramel, right there in the mid-palate. It's a really... I'm glad I let this open up because when I first opened this and had a sip, it was like oak bomb. It was like, whoa, it's like literally chewing on a raw piece of oak. It was so overpowering. It was almost, I wanted to say almost not palatable. But now that I've let it open up for a few weeks, you get that oak note, but it's in the finish, it has a very subtle back end. On the second, except the oak is a little more pronounced, but there's like a dankiness to it. Like you ever been in a forest, an oak tree that's fallen over, and it's kind of starting to get into that midway rot. That's what this that if you breathe it in, that's what this kind of tastes like. It has a dankiness to it, but it's not horrible. The Kentucky hug is slight. It's just kind of right here in the chest. It's just kind of settling down, but it's not overpowering. Now that we've had the Elijah Craig, Let's try the Knob Creek. See, I like the Knob Creek more just for one reason. You get that burnt brown sugar note, that oak note, that char, but it's a thicker note. It's a heavier note. It just it has more mouthfeel, more depth, more character. Both about the same price, but on this one, you get some of that. It's like a baking spice, a little clove note, a little cinnamon, and a little bit of dryness. But again, the mouthfeel is so much more than the Elijah Craig 18. So if I were to, let's say with a head-to-head battle, I would definitely give it up more for the Knob Creek, just because it has that more viscous, heavy note. Again, you got that orange chocolate on this one, but on this one, that chocolate and that heavier char, again, like I said, it's the mouthfeel. It's very heavy, very dense, it coats everything. This one's kind of hit it and it just coasts on down. So, like I always say, find a bottle, open the bottle, enjoy the bottle, because good whiskey's meant to be shared. Thanks for watching this short and sweet head-to-head. Talk to you soon.